Good morning, everyone. We are on day 5 of Junk Journal January 2025. Can you believe it? I have stuck with it for this long. It's got to be some kind of record. Although, yeah, that's about to come to a screeching halt because the prompt for day 5 is depth. What the heck do you do with depth? I just don't know. This prompt has gone completely over my head. Get it? Depth over my head. Yeah. I would have to dig deep to find something that I could use to represent depth, and it's just not coming to me. I can't think of anything. And I'm smart enough to know when I'm out of my depth at anything other than deep puns, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to pretend like depth doesn't exist, and I'm going to search YouTube here in the next day or so and see what other people have done with depth, because I don't know what to do with it. But that's just the joy of it. I can totally skip it. I can, come back and do it later if something comes to me. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get upset that I'm a day off or I skipped one or what. That's not the point. That's totally missing the point on these month-long challenges. So yeah, if you've missed out, just jump in today, or actually don't jump in on day 5. I recommend you jump in day 6, just jump in where you are and go for it. And you can go back and start from 1 if you want to, but yeah, just do whatever makes it fun for you. And today what makes it fun for me is to pretend like depth doesn't exist and move on to embossed. I can do something with embossed. The first thing that came to mind was embossing powders, because I really got into doing artsy craftsy stuff back in the late 80s, early 90s, when rubber stamping was the thing. And so, yeah, I stamped and embossed like a crazy person. And I actually still have some embossing powders and inks, and I still have pretty much all my stamps. So I thought I could do that, but that really didn't go with the aesthetic, the really trashy aesthetic I'm going for here. Embossing I could add a little emboss something. It didn't do it for me. So then I thought about embossing texture-wise, I have some embossing folders. I could run those through the little thing and put a texture on something, or even use stencils and emboss or deboss, whatever. Lots of ways to go, but to keep with my recycled theme that I'm hoping to continue with for this challenge, I really wanted to use something recycled. So I started digging through all my packaging, especially boxes, because sometimes, if you get some products will have their labels are kind of embossed or textured. And that's what I was looking for, was just an embossed texture on some kind of packaging. And I had nothing, I just don't buy a lot of fancy stuff that might have, frou-frou packaging. Yeah, my store brand butter is just not going to cut it. So then I thought maybe a magazine cover, because sometimes those, are kind of cool, might have an embossed texture on it. So I dug through some magazine covers I've collected and wasn't really seeing anything. And then I remembered, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if I had an extra one of these? Y'all remember this old gal? This is the original En Masse collection journal, the one that kind of started it all, from back in 2015. And I've noticed in this challenge that I'm digging back to inspiration from like a decade ago. So it's these things never really go out of style. They can live on and continue to inspire you. But I made this on Masse journal out of 2 Oklahoma state travel guides, and I glued them together. And the covers were amazing. You know, you can send off for travel guides. These were free. And speaking from experience, I can tell you that Oklahoma consistently has the best travel guides as far as the design and just the whole aesthetic of the travel guide. They have the best in the U.S. There are some other good ones, but trust me when I say I've seen them all from all the states. Not every year, but every so often I send off for them, and Oklahoma knocks my socks off every time. I have to admit it. And this one from 2015 it is embossed completely. I know you can't really tell, but it is textured. It's like tooled leather, and it's got the texture like tooled leather, and it's got it on the front and back covers. And I remember at the time that I had several of them because, you know, I sent off for one, and I may have sent off for 2. I don't know. But, you know, I didn't want to be greedy about it. But then other people saw what I was doing with it, and they sent me some. So I had extras, but I doubted that I had any extra covers from 15 years ago. So I went to the one place where I knew they would be if I kept them. And look, I found an extra set of covers, and they are so beautifully embossed. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for the embossed prompt, and it keeps with my recycled junky theme I've got going on. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, I toyed with different ways to do it. It kind of hurt my heart a little bit to consider folding these. I mean, that would work fine, but it was a little painful. So I trimmed off the edges, you know, just around to this faux stitched edging. And look, I think they're going to fit just right. They're like exactly the same height as my journal. So I think all I want to do at this point is just hinge these together. So they'll be like this, and then put them in, and even closed. Yeah, see, if I bind it here, it's still going to be, it's just, it was meant to be, you know, I just can't ignore that. So my plan is to, I thought, you know, there's all kinds of ways I could hinge it, but I really wanted something sturdy, and I didn't want to sew anything because, you know, paper, it could pull out over time. So I wanted to glue something, and my thought that I landed on was a fabric hinge. So I dug into my fabric stash, and I found this it's a bank bag from my hometown, from a bank that doesn't exist anymore. It's one of those kind of heavy canvas bags. And I rested it one day at Rosemary Morris's house. She had a whole thing where we rested a bunch of stuff. Super fun. And so I rested it, so it's got this super cool look here going on. And I think what I'm going to do is, the crease is right there, and I'm just going to leave the crease there and use it, and then cut like this, and then glue it to these covers. You know, leave a little bit of space like that, glue it, and then make a hinge, and it'll be right here. That's the plan. So I think the first thing I need to do is cut this. And yeah, I want it about the same size. So I am going to just chop this off. Chop this bottom part off. Oh, leave me a little bit of space. So yeah, I need to cut it right above the embank. These are paper scissors that I'm using to cut fabric. Don't judge me. Okay. And Then I'm going to use my rotary cutter, I believe. Yeah, to just kind of do like that and do like this. And I'm just going to basically eyeball it because my little mat, I don't have room for a bigger mat. I mean, I could lay it down here, but then, you know, I don't want to take the chance of forgetting that it's there and mess it up with my heat gun. We don't want to do that. So, yeah. I'll just use this little one. It looks straight enough, right? I think it's about right. Oh. Clearly, I need a new blade. And that's okay. There we go. Good enough. So I will save that for another fabulous something. And now I've got my hinge. And I've still got the, you know, I've got that little middle line there, so that's good. That gives me a guide for where to put my covers. And they're just going to be like this. And then like this. And then I'll trim off the excess. Okay, that's what I'll do. And I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac. Because, you know, it's good and sticky. Don't leave this laying around like that because I think I nearly cut my finger. If this had been sharp, I would have cut my finger. Alright, so let's just... That's not right. I'm doing it on the outside. Okay. Pay attention to what you're doing. Fortunately, this has got kind of a glossy coating on it, and I have alcohol wipes. So we can just pretend like that never happened. There we go. Problem solved. Okay, do over. We want it like that. So make sure I got all that glue off of there because that can live on to cause a problem. Yeah, that's good. Glue on this side. Shan, get it right. I think that looks good. And then I'm going to kind of do this because I don't want it bulky. Then I'm going to lay it on my piece of fabric. Like that. Oh yeah, I like that. And I wasn't paying attention and didn't quite line it up right. It's close enough, right? Oh dear. Okay, now I nearly glued it to this. I've got to pay attention. I need to quit doing these morning videos, like first thing in the morning, because yeah, it's very obvious that I don't function well until I have completely finished my coffee. Oh, I like it. So this is good. I want to cut this off. That. There we go. And there is my folio, is what that is, for the embossed prompt. And And then I will just put it in here like this. In my little temporary binding, because I won't bind until the end. Oh yes. Ta-da! I love that. Okay. I am embossed. That was super easy. I'm liking these super easy ones that just come together. I'm going to pull this out and let it completely dry before I put it in there next to other stuff. But, yeah, okay, so I think the moral of the story is don't forget to look back at what you've done before and get inspiration from, you know, that thing that you did all those years ago. Or if you're brand new and you don't have that, well, then you've got YouTube, so it's still a win. So, yeah, just grab that inspiration from wherever you find it. And, oh, this makes me happy. I love this. This could be just an awesome journal on its own. It was my last one, but man, you know, I've been holding on to it for 10 years, so I kind of figured it was time to just go ahead and use it. So, this is perfect. That is it for another one. I'm going to continue to ponder depth and see if I come up with anything. And what's the next one coming up? Oh, tuck spot. Tuck spot's easy. Okay, yeah, I'll do that one. I don't know if I'll do a video because I've done so many in a row now. I feel like I'm setting unrealistic expectations for everyone. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, the end.